Munchies, welcome if you're new. I'm Alyssia. I started dabbling in meditation about 2 years ago, and throughout 2018, I established meditation as a true daily habit, and it has changed my life. I've done some live community meditations on my Instagram before, and I've had a lot of requests for an intro video, so I thought this Kickstart series would be the perfect time to share it. Today, I'm going to give you a beginning overview covering the very general who, what, where, when, and why of meditation, and then we're going to also tackle the how and actually do a 5-minute meditation at the end together if you'd like to join. Please know that I have not done any formal or academic meditation training or study. I've just developed my own practice and it's changed my life, and I'm excited to share it. I may do a training later this year, but at the time of making this video, I have not. Let's get into it. Who? When it comes to meditation, it's a very internal and personal practice for you. Typically, you'll probably meditate on your own. You can participate in a community meditation where other people are present, or it may be guided. You can use a tool like an app for guided meditations, but regardless of who else is present in your space and how they're participating, this meditation is for you and it's done by you, no one else. What is meditation? So, meditate has a lot of definitions. To engage in contemplation or reflection, or to engage in mental exercise for the purpose of reaching a heightened level of spiritual awareness, or to focus one's thoughts on are just a few. And all of these can be right, but it really depends on the person and the practice. For me, meditating is about being present and practicing being present. It's observing without judgment. This is a form of mindfulness meditation. Every day when I stop to meditate, I'm practicing presence and awareness. And what I've started to see over the past few years, and the hope is that with that daily practice, it starts to show up in the rest of my regular life, even when I'm not practicing too. It's really incredible. Some people think meditating is turning off thoughts or feelings or trying to avoid being distracted, but I don't think so. I think it's observing but not judging. It isn't about becoming a new, better, or even different person, but about increasing your own awareness and perspective. Technically, a meditation practice is where someone focuses on one thing to achieve a more mentally and emotionally clear and calm state. But meditation takes many forms, formats, and techniques. Mindfulness meditation is just one technique, as is concentration meditation, which I also sort of pull from, but there are also compassion meditations, Tai Chi, walking meditations, body scan meditations, mantra meditations, affirmation meditations. There are so many kinds. So I don't want you to leave this video thinking this answers all of the questions about all formats of meditation, but mindfulness is one of the more common and growing techniques, and it's one where you can really get started without needing any training or classes. With most meditations, as I mentioned, you have something you're focusing on, and that's often referred to as an anchor. For me, and often for mindfulness in general, that anchor is your breath. For example, with mantra meditations, that anchor would be the specific mantra. So there's nothing special about your breath other than it's a physical sensation that's always there. And that's actually why it's a perfect anchor. You can always come back to it no matter where your mind goes during the meditation. Where? There aren't rules about where you need to meditate or the setting. You don't need a special bolster or a body position. You can do it seated in a chair or even lying down. It's really up to you. Don't feel like conditions have to be perfect, because that's really where part of the work comes in, is when everything's not perfect. When? There's also no right or wrong time to meditate. I meditate in the mornings. I love to do it with the sunrise. Some people prefer to do it right before bed. For me, that doesn't work so well, because when I'm sleepy, I can't focus and I actually end up just falling asleep, which in some forms of meditation is actually the intention, but for mindfulness, not so much. So really just find a time that works for you. I also like the morning because I always feel good knowing I've done it. It's very grounding to me in the rest of my day, and it's just good accountability to get it done earlier so I don't put it off until later in the day. There also aren't rules on frequency or length of meditation. If you're just starting out, start small. Once a day, aim for just a few minutes, maybe 3 or 5, and work at that consistently for weeks or even months. As you feel more comfortable, add more time or maybe an additional session. A lot of people ask, what's the minimum amount of time to benefit? Any amount. I believe even a small amount. 1 minute or 3 minutes a day can make a a difference over time. I started out with 5 minutes a day for about 3 months every single day before upping it. And I actually added about a minute each week up to the 10 minutes. And then I stayed at 10 minutes for a few months before moving gradually on up to 15 or 20. Now I try to do 15 to 20 minutes a day. Sometimes I do 2 shorter ones. It sort of depends on the day and how I'm feeling. But what I've found is the most important thing, at least for me, is to get it in every single day, even if I can only do it 5 minutes or less. Some people say they don't have to do it every day to find it beneficial, which is fine. But I find for me, if I don't do it every day, it gets harder, both during the practice and the accountability of sticking with it. Why? So what are the benefits of meditation? There are a lot of science-based reasons to start meditating, and it's pretty cool that so much research has been done and is being done on meditation now. Studies have shown meditation helps reduce stress, both mental and physical, and can actually help regulate hormones for that reason, as well as help improve sleep and can help with anyone struggling with anxiety. I've struggled with anxiety for years, and this has really made a big difference for me. It helps with emotional health, as I mentioned before, self-awareness, increased attention span. This was one of the first real benefits I started to see. Not only my attention and focus, but my memory, especially short term. I noticed I was able to recall things more quickly. For instance, if I was having a conversation with someone and they were talking and I didn't want to interrupt them, before, all the time, I would forget what I was going to say or what I was about to do. But after my meditation practice became more regular, I noticed I could recall things that before I just wouldn't have been able to remember. It's really cool. It's also been shown to increase positive feelings and generate kindness, both towards yourself and others. For me, over the last year, finding self-compassion has been a huge component of my personal growth, and I think my meditation practice has been a big factor. It's helped a lot of people fight addictions because it helps break dependencies and increase self-control and awareness of triggers, and it can even help control pain. One of the sort of mantras that I pass through my mind when I meditate is, all sensations are temporary and they will pass. And again, that just starts to show up in regular life. So when something uncomfortable happens, physical, mental, or emotional, I can keep that perspective that all things are temporary and handle the situation with a little more compassion and grace. Physically, meditation can also decrease blood pressure, and I really like breath meditation for this reason as well. Regardless of your intention when you sit down every day to meditate, just sitting still and breathing is good for your body. Slowing down your breath can make a big difference physiologically and emotionally. If you guys have an interest in me sharing some specific breathing techniques for anxiety and stress, let me know and I can do a video on that too. How? So let's get to it already and talk about how you do it, and then we will actually do it. Again, I'm not trained in meditation, but I am going to provide a bit of guidance along the way. This guidance is really more to share what's going on in my mind and what I do to help stay present and bring it back to my breath as an example for you. Your meditation may look very different on your own, but I want to just sort of demystify it and show you how casual it can be. There's no magic going on that you're missing that everyone else has figured out. In terms of guided meditations, I don't prefer them personally. I've tried them, and what I find is they sort of interrupt my thoughts and focus more than they help me focus. If you find that your mind wanders a lot and you need someone to help pull you back more, you might find guided meditations helpful. My mind used to wander a lot more, and it still wanders a lot. Just know that the goal is never to get it to stop wandering completely, but to have the awareness when it wanders and then bring it back. So one thing that really helped me when I first started was thinking about my mind wandering as a repetition, like during a workout. So you're working out your mind when you meditate, and every time your mind wanders and you start thinking about anything, your lunch, something you forgot to do, your friend from 3rd grade that you haven't thought about until now, to find the awareness during your meditation to say, okay, my mind wandered, now I'm going to bring it back and focus on my breath. And to do it nicely and with compassion for yourself and not beat yourself up, that is a repetition. Every time you wander and bring the focus back to the breath, it's a rep. It's fine, it's no big deal. Don't be frustrated at that because that's just what the work is. Just remember that there's no such thing as a perfect meditation. Another thing to consider is music. Some people prefer to meditate with music. It can be calming and grounding. For me, that's not the case. It's more of a distraction. I start to focus on the song and how long it's been going, and I'm much less present. But it's something you might want to explore if it resonates with you. For positioning, about 6 months into my meditation practice, I got a bolster on Amazon. I can link this one, but there's nothing special about it. Physically, it gives me support and is easier than sitting on the ground, especially for those longer meditations. Mentally and emotionally, it's sort of a nice piece of accountability and gives my practice intention. I know I'm going to spend my meditation practice with this bolster, and it just gives me something else to look forward to with it. It's not necessary. You can use a pillow, or like I said, you can sit in a chair or lie down. I don't like to lie down or sit in a chair because I get too comfortable. And it's not that I want to be uncomfortable, but if I'm too comfortable, then I find my mind wanders more and I can't be present. So sitting upright forces me to be a little more aware, but you can find what works for you. I prefer to sit cross-legged. So one of my early yoga and meditation teachers, Alyssia, who is amazing, I will link her below, always suggested switching the cross of your legs from the way you're first inclined to do. And I did that so much when I started meditating that now I actually don't have a comfortable side, which is pretty neat. So consider challenging yourself a bit there. If you're in a chair, try to have your feet flat on the floor. Straighten your body, but you're not stiff. A neutral spine, head and shoulders are relaxed. For my hands, I like to have them on my knees. If I feel I need a little more grounding, then I face them down. If I feel I need a little more energy and support, then I might face them up. But whatever is comfortable for you is fine. Let your head gaze forward, and from my practice and typically with mindfulness meditation, I always close my eyes. But for some forms and guided practices, you don't have to. So if that makes you super uncomfortable, explore options where you can keep your eyes open and know that those are available. We're going to get started on this 5-minute guided meditation, but remember, I want you to take this and make it your own. My guidance is more me sharing my experience than it is trying to direct yours. So get any last wiggles out and try to find stillness. We'll begin the timer for 5 minutes. You'll hear the alarm when it's up, and time begins now. I close my eyes and bring my attention to my breath, in and out through my nose. Am I tensing my face? Try to relax and soften. I'm not controlling the length of my inhales or exhales, just letting them happen naturally. Notice the breath. Notice how it feels coming in my nose and through my throat and out of my nostrils onto my upper lip. Feel and follow the breath in and out. Just notice any sensations around the breath, even the rising and falling of your belly or your chest. Do I notice any sensations in the rest of my body? Is there a hair in my face or an itch on my back? Acknowledge it, but don't judge it. Try not to cling to it. It's temporary and it will pass. Maybe I notice something pleasant, a breeze on my face, a pleasant sound in nature. Notice, observe, but don't cling, because those are also temporary and will pass. Breathe. If my mind has started to wander, bring it back to the inhale and exhale. Just because there's space doesn't mean you need to fill it. And time is up. How did it go? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, my guidance wasn't there to direct your experience, but more to share what goes on for me during my practice and how I try to bring myself back to my breath as an anchor. If this resonated with you, try it out on your own. If not, maybe consider exploring some different formats or techniques, or even trying mindfulness guided meditations or to music. There are so many options that I'm confident some way will work for you, but regardless, always are going to require work. You can't do it wrong. Even if your mind wanders for 4 minutes and 45 seconds out of the 5 minutes total, it's okay. Sitting down, being present with your breath, doing it, that's the work. If you need accountability, consider trying meditation as a monthly resolution, which I talk about in this video, and I give a worksheet and calendar to help you out. That's actually how I started my committed meditation practice last year. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for being here. If you want more videos like this, more meditations, guided or not, let me know. I will be back tomorrow with a brand new video. And remember, it's all a matter of mind over munch. Well, maybe it's more a matter of mind over matter in this case. I'll see you tomorrow.